Hello everyone and welcome to SpaceChem Tournament 2024 Week 7 Quantum Demux. This time we have a bit of a monstrous thing, seemingly monstrous thing that you might see on the screen. The point of this level is that you are given a string of those random 6 atom molecules and you must transform them uh, into one of those outputs with the additional twist that you do not know which input corresponds to which output, and additionally you have only one type of placeable reactors and it does not have any sensors. So if you look at this from the first, your first thought might be, oh my god, this is horrible. How am I supposed to do anything about this? Am I supposed to do bond sensing? You can do bond sensing, but it's not. It's highly not recommended. In fact, this is a level about a piece of magic math that you will basically there's basically a certain sequence of operations that can be very efficiently and elegantly transform what you have on the left into what you have on the right. Um, into what you have on the right. Okay. Additionally, so let's on the left we have this type of reactor that has no sensors. Then you must connect to a router reactor that only has one sensor and absolutely nothing else, which then, as you can see, leads to two manager reactors which only have fusers and again nothing else. And additionally you have templates. Uh, so in other words, after you have sensed what you are actually working with, you will not have access to bonders. So okay, and instead of if you want to change the bond configurations of atoms, then you will have to use templates. So at the first glance, this looks like a horrible mess. As you can see, the numbers on the output numbers are seemingly completely random, um, and oh, some more random numbers. I know you like random numbers, and the inputs also are seemingly random. But as you will soon see, it's really not well. This level is really not painful if you give it careful thought and know what you are doing. This time we will have 6 scoring solutions and 2 non-scoring ones. First, we have a solution titled Unga Bunga by Spiritual Shampoo. So, he has warned me that he will do what he called Unga Bunga, and I thought that I will know what he's talking about. I was pretty confident that this means he will do bond sensing, which is very ugly. By the way, I forgot to mention, you do not have debonds. So if you want to do bond sensing, then you will have to split off use of the things that you have bonded, It will be an absolutely horrible mess. So when he said that he's doing Unga Bunga, I thought this is what he's going to mean. But the actual answer turned out to be much more scarier. What Spiritual Shampoo is doing is hydrogen grinding. He correctly guessed that he will be in the last place, and well, let's look at what's happening. This is the first reactor. We take the we take the random input, we fuse it, we send it into a long back pipe. This is horrible, this is very slow, this is a lot of symbols. I will not talk about how he's doing the actual grinding part. you should be thankful I'm going to talk about the following reactors. Okay, this is the first reactor where we are making this output molecule. So what is happening here? Mhm. So we begin by, for whatever reason, doing this red thingy on the bottom that runs exactly once. If I put this pot here, you will see that this red array makes sodium. After the sodium is made, you can see that on the top you have a 3 to 4 flip flop. Red inputs hydrogen, and in 3 cases out of 4 it just this hydrogen just passes through, drops on omega, and drops on omega. Basically, this will be the material for the following molecules. In one of the first cases, it will this hydrogen will go this path, and here we made magnesium, we made aluminium, blah, 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 blah. And now what we are making here is sulfur. Wasting some time on the blue. So as you can see, sulfur is the bottom right atom of the so what is happening now? Okay, the same thing continues happening. Blue waits for a very long time. As you can see, la 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 blue 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 blue. Wait, where am I paused? Okay, you can disappear. Okay, we have made 28. 28 will create 2 silicons. We do some time wasting, some more time. Now, if I am not mistaken, I was mistaken. Okay. Where do we do the next molecule? I don't remember, if I'm being honest. Okay, that's nickel. Okay. We did some more 80 and we made 87. He, of course, did not detect the correct mass, but he at least correctly corrected that if you have 28, you can make the two left those two atoms, and if you have 87 or thereabouts, you can make the top 3. And then you have sodium remaining, so the cycle restarts. Okay, that was the first, whatever. This was something. Now we are going to the second reactor, where we are okay, we are making 63, which splits down to gallium sulfur oxygen, which is the top row of the second reactor. You know, why do I have to show all this? Can you okay. Basically, after we made the top row, we now make lithium. Now we will make 62, I don't want to show it, and 62 will make gallium. And afterwards, remember that we have this molecule waiting to be handled, which is handled by red, and okay, maybe we should put this. Okay, this is not how it's done. Okay, let me just remember how it handles this existing molecule, because I do not remember. Oh my god, what am I looking at? you know, just believe me that it somehow handles it. I don't want to show it. Okay, reactor 3. We are making. We are making. We are making 68. Wow, we are just on the first. On the first. On the first solution, and I'm already having trouble articulating my thoughts. Okay, let's go up to 68. Let's split it down to those three atoms. Then we make natrium. Then we will make 50. Okay, and we just missed it, but this just handled the previous two molecules. I don't want to show it. Fourth reactor is basically more of the same. If I put the pause on 3, 6, you can see we made 90. You can see we made, okay, we previously made 29, and now we made 13, which we will now split. I really don't know why I'm showing it in such detail, but here's what we have. Okay, so the good thing is that now we do not have to do anything with templating. We just we don't even need a sensor. We just flip flop and flip flop again, and that's the solution. It's very slow. Do we wait for a quarter of a million cycles? Okay, let's wait for a quarter of a million cycles, whatever. So, how was everyone's day? Mine was okay, so. Partially because I had to look at this solution. And okay, done. 648 symbols. Even accounting for the fact that we are subtracting 5 for each reactor, this still results in a 613 metric, which is bad. Thank you. Okay, 5th place. ToughThought with 4 balancing. Okay, now we are getting to something interesting. This is closer to what the good math was intended to be. Now let's look at what's happening. We input, we split. Now we try to bond. Okay, note those things on the right. This is the correct part. The first step is indeed that you must split the 5th atom and and separate the two streams of the resulting splits. This was the first atom, this was the second, the same thing happened, and unfortunately now the mass breaks. Now this one is fused in a different shape and goes into a different direction. So first let's look at the main part. Okay, now we split, I mean we fuse the 6th atom into the right part of the 5th atom. Now we split the 3rd atom for whatever reason. Oh, well, I say for whatever. Okay, I understand this is very hard to follow if you are just watching. I do not have a good diagram. I will show the diagram of the intended mass later, the first time it comes up. But for now, let's just say that this is approximately, this is close to what was intended, but not quite. So we fuse. Remember that all of this is done blindly. This is done, the exact same thing is being done on all three inputs. We do not know what is currently being handled. I don't have a good way to tell you what's happening other than, okay, now this I don't have a good way to say anything other than, okay, now this part gets fused into the first atom in all three of those cases, and now we get this four shape. Hello, triple IE, long time no see, and goodbye. So we have this four shape. That's kinda magic. Also not what I was intended. And now some more blind handling. Okay, I understand that my commentary, especially for this part, is not going to be very fun to listen to, but suffice to say, the point of this level is to find a way to transform all four inputs in the same manner blindly, and doing it for 3 out of 4 as ToughThought did is well, better than nothing, but still not particularly good. So here in this reactor, additionally, you can see something. Okay, let me just find this part I want to show. Okay, this was the first input. So, unfortunately for ToughThought, the way the bonds fall apart during fusing and splitting differs for the different inputs, and therefore it takes it takes an additional symbols to basically cover all possible bases. So it's not entirely blind, but you can, even though you have to do different things, different inputs, you still cannot differentiate them, because there is no good function in SpaceChem to determine whether or not you're holding anything well other than rotate, but that's not very not a panacea. Okay. Okay, let's just sum it up as what's happening here is some magic. And on the special case, on the special casing, we also do some magical mass that is completely not intended. Some parts get split, some parts get fused. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm not sure why this works, but it does. The point is, in this reactor, the last working one, we have a merging of the two strings. Luckily, despite handling them differently, we have the same sequence on both inputs. First, okay, let's just input something and you'll see what I'm talking about. So, so the first atom that gets put is the top right. In this case, it's from the first input. This is the 63. We will see 63 quite a lot in this, in different solutions. So what's happening is 63 gets split, and then the results get split again, and then again, and we get gallium stored for oxygen, as you might remember. And now we input the second atom, which gets fused to the remnant of the triple split of the first one. We will again see this quite a lot. Mm. And now we get two galliums, which are the top left. I'm sorry, the bottom right atoms. And the third atom that gets input is lithium, which we do not do anything with. We just fuse it to the stick, and off it goes. Now we do the same with the so we have the same as handling of the three top inputs, and then we must merge in the the beta input to be handled the same as the top three inputs, which is happening around here. Oh, I think I already missed it. Okay, here's the correct part. So, two grabs mean that we pretend that we inputted it from the top, we split, we bond the string, and then the same thing happens on the bottom. So the point is that we get 8 of those sticks. What do we do with those sticks? We put them in the very precise spots using a lot of sensors. Well, a lot of sense commands. You only get one sensor, of course. No, because nothing interesting is happening here. We are just routing the sticks. Because we do not have bonders in the manager reactors, we have no choice but to use the templates. How do we do the templates? Oh, okay. Yes, step 1 is get rid of the handle. Why does this work? Because right, because we know that we input 4 betas in a row, which means that we know exactly what we are doing with. We are working with. We do not have to do any magical timing, anything fancy. We just input the 4 sticks and then handle them in a row. So the first stick gets handled here, then the second stick gets fused there, and so on. We will see some black magic with templating when we do not know the order, but that will come later. So this was the top manager. The bottom manager works exactly the same. Nothing really interesting to say about this. So let's just put to them. This was 335 symbols or 298 metric for ToughThought. Why is this not very good? Because well, first of all, because you are splitting the two input handlings, which is undesirable, and because both manager reactors have quite a lot of symbols. You really, ideally, I won't run ahead of myself, but there are ways to handle the manager part much more cleanly. So, fourth place, anningmay. With solution, the math was fine, the ending was plain mean. Okay, very scary set of annotations, but thank you for actually leaving them. We begin with a lot of priming. It takes almost 200 cycles to actually input anything. So, we begin by an incorrect step. Anningmay, what Anningmay does is he takes the fourth atom and splits it down to hydrogen, which I guess is because he had some mass work out to be one off from where it had to be. But wait, sorry, did I say fourth? I think this was supposed to be third. Okay, yes, he split the third atom down to hydrogen, basically subtracts one from the beryllium. Now what he does is he will fuse the sixth atom to hydrogen. Basically, what he did is he transferred one atomic mass from the third atom down to the sixth. Why he did this? Well, presumably it was something to do with his mass. The rest, as you might observe, so this is all the first reactor does. This transformation, the other four atoms are unchanged. And this is the third and the sixth atom with slightly shifted that he drops into the omega, and the main 4 block gets shifted into the output side. So what does he do? Okay, 1 second. What does he do here? I don't remember what he does here. Okay. If you remember, this is the fifth atom. He gets, which gets split, which is the correct step at this point. Now, what he does next is this is the second atom that gets fused. I don't think this is correct. Okay, whatever. Look, just some fusion actions happen. I don't really know how to explain this in a way that will be understandable. Okay. So, we did not notice it, but this was yes, lazy comment put it very well. Input goes in, magic happens, output goes out. That's how it works. I don't really know what else to say. I'm not going to chart you a diagram of of the specific nuclear transformation, so I'm sorry. So 63 gets split down to gallium, sulfur, oxygen. We've seen this many times. And now using some set of transformations, we gain 62 that you may remember from the previous solution. 62 makes the two 31s to make the top, well, usually bottom right two atoms. This time, and it makes a mirrored shape, and therefore they are bottom left. This, by the way, this shape is not known to be correct. This is a bit of a troll part of this level. Even though you have a seemingly correct 6 atom molecule, but the truth is that all 4 output atoms have different topologies, so you must somehow differentiate them. uh, which you cannot do very well because you do not have sensors and all molecules have the same shape. As you can see, well, as you can see on the top output, natrium top right atom bonds to the left, but the corresponding bottom output has it bond down to the bottom. There is no good way to differentiate which way it will bond. It will always bond one of the two ways, and that's where the sensors and the template hassle comes in. So anyway, um, all this reactor does is it adds an additional bond to the top, right? Why it does this? If we Okay, it does this for a reason we are going to see very shortly. Okay, I'm not going to wait for it. The point is that the router splits the stream into four places, differentiates them by placement. Now, luckily, the top two outputs are intentionally comparatively simple. It is not as you can see, the two valency atoms are placed on the opposite corners, which means that you can put bonders in such a way that whatever two molecules come into this manager will have the correct atoms, but whatever molecules come into the bottom manager will have the opposite of the correct ones. As you can see, this pattern of bonding matches this one, and this one matches this one, and those two bottom ones have to be different, and that's where the templates come in. So the top manager is fairly simple. We just output what comes in. Now, in the bottom manager is where the fun part begins. Let's wait for something to happen. We can make this happen by okay. So we have blindly outputted blindly inputted a molecule. We do not know whether it's placed in the bottom or in the top. To differentiate this, we will use this handle on this template. So, what happened just now is Red attempted to use the bottom molecule. Well, Red assumed that we have a bottom molecule inputted in, and it attempts to fuse it into the template on the quote-unquote first pass. This time we indeed had this bottom molecule, and therefore this worked. Now, Blue will try dropping and outputting it to Omega, and this will work. Now, Blue does not know that it has just outputted. For all it knows, there can be a template right here. So Blue attempts to grab the template, perform the operations, now both Waldos pretend that there is a top molecule, and blindly do the transformations that are needed to handle the top molecule. But of course, nothing happens because top molecule because the template has already been handled. Now we input the top molecule. So as you can see, the red this time doesn't hold anything, and therefore blue just rotates the template a bunch. And now when the last time it has dropped a complete out molecule. Now instead it merely drops the template, and now it grabs the template, and now actually handles the top molecule. And this is, by the way, the intended way to solve this level. So but this will be the only time that we will actually see this approach. Okay, let's remove this pause, and this was anningmay with 257 symbols and 225 metric, which is a drop of 73 compared to ToughThought. Okay, we are already halfway through. In the third place, we have names Ahard, which is Sir and Big Mango Head, which is indeed they submitted 5 minutes before deadline. So what is this? Okay, this is the first solution that has correctly got the mass we need. And in fact, the two remaining ones will also correctly handle it. In fact, let me just show how. Okay, let me show how this mass works. Okay, I added it to the stream and I added it to the chat. So, as you can see, the intended way to complete this level is by performing the exact same set of operations on all 4 inputs. First, we split the fifth. First, we split the fifth atom. Then the left part is we need as is. But the right part of the split gets fused to the second, fourth, and sixth atoms. This creates the big molecule. For the first molecule, this is a 62. Then this molecule is split 3 times: 31, 16, and 8. We've already seen a few times. After those 3 splits, we have the remainder, which is 7 in the case of the first input, which is then fused into the first and the third atom, and then split once, and this produces the remaining 2 atoms. And that's it. We have produced the 6 atoms that we need. Now all we have to do is to sort out the bonds. Okay. So let's see how names Ahard do this. Names Ahard. So let's show it. Okay, this is the split fifths. The split fifths. We fuse it to the fourth. We do some stuff. Now we split to the 6. Now we need to split to fuse to this second that red is currently holding. Which we do, and that's 62. That's what we now we just need to split this 3 times, and that's the result. Now, what? Now, if you remember, what we are dropping to the bottom is the first, the third. Okay, boron is the third, and lithium is one of the atoms on the final output. So all this stuff gets dumped into omega, and into psi we dump just the 62. Now the logic the specific sequence of commands slightly differs depending on the molecule because we have bonding problems. But overall, the same exact mass holds for all of the inputs. So, what is happening here? Okay, let me show. Topology is standard. So, we do the thing we've already seen a few times. We make the stick. Now we fuse those three atoms. Remember that lithium is one of the outputs. Now we just need to split this 62 once, which we do in another reactor. Same exact thing happens with the second input, of course. And now okay, those are the two things that we need, and this is the 6 atom that we need, but it's bonded incorrectly. All inputs will have either this shape or without with this missing bond, which we see here. Yep. Yellow bunny says that we have missed a one cycle save with an output hammer on blue. Unfortunate. So now we do okay, interestingly we do not do placement differentiation, so we will have to do something different. And how does it do? Okay, in a very interesting way. Let's just demonstrate this way. This is the first atom. This is the first molecule, and as you can see, due to the way the bonding worked, the fusion worked, this 3 stick got split in half. Here's the interesting part. Or is not the interesting part? Okay, let's show that once again. So, somehow, well, not somehow, blue takes this molecule and drops it in omega and out. Now you might wonder, but how we will differentiate from the other molecule, and here's how. As you can see, this time we this 3 stick does not get torn apart. So what happens is we end up with an atom in this spot which we did not have on the previous molecule. So blue wastes a cycle rotating a single atom, which delays it by a turn. Or by 2 turns, I don't know. Okay, anyway. So what? Oh yes, but by 2 turns. So what happens now is red arrives to this grab draw command first and snatches it out of blue. This was the top manager, and in the bottom manager we actually have the same thing. Oh, I actually forgot to remove this pose. Where is the pose? Oh, here's the pose. Okay, exact same thing happens here. We fuse. So Now you will notice that this time we are taking this sulfur that got left over after fusing down here, and we spend 2 cycles on those rotations, and 2 cycles on the rotations back, and this is what blue does. Now this is the second molecule. And now we do not have a sulfur. So the red comes here 2 cycles earlier, instead grabs this natrium. And now it has time to output on psi before blue has a chance to grab it. Very elegant, and makes no use of this handle. Okay, let's remove the pause and run to completion. This was named the hard with 223 metric, meaning just a 2-point metric drop compared to anningmay. They have one reactor less, so that's another. So the difference in metric is smaller than the difference in symbols. In second place, we have the Commonwealth, which is Brookie Oz, Britboy, and Jojo, with solution sub 200. Despite all the cursed mass, this is still a symbols puzzle, and the Commonwealth do what you do in simple puzzles. They do black timing magic. Red does a cycle, wastes some time. Blue does its own cycle, and this somehow works out. I don't know. Oh my god. So anyway, what useful thing actually happens? Of course, Commonwealth also got the correct mass. Split fuse. This one worked normally. Now, okay. How much time I got to it? Okay. This one works normally, and unfortunately this third one is a bit worse. Because we do not have a bond between the first and the second atoms, what instead happens is 9 gets dropped on the omega. And so it's just a small minor difference, and of course the first one is handled normally. So, but anyway, everything leads into the same reactor, so not many problems. Okay, now this is quite an unfortunate for Commonwealth. As you can see, blue hangs on input blue. It will wait to input Z1 single fluorine, while red basically does the rest by itself. It produces this shape of this 4-atom shape. And finally, blue inputs something, and all blue symbols exist solely to compensate for the fact that there was no bond between the first and the second atom. Unfortunate. So, what did red do this time? Well, it did the rest of the magical mass. It fuses the second, now it fuses the sixth, time it will fuse the second. Now we will need to fuse those two together. Okay. So as I said, we need to fuse those two together, which is then fused to the remnant of this 15 split, which we do right here. Now, an interesting thing happens is, as you can see, on every other blue pass through, what it does not have time to split, grab, basically it does not have time to split this atom into 3 parts, because on every other part, red executes this output omega too early, and blue does not get a chance to do the whole splitting business. And now, in the fourth reactor, all it does is blindly extrude a convenient shape. That will be the same for inputs. As you can see, this is the shape. Very elegant router. The router runs on this single line with different timing depending on which atom we detect. So, in other words, sometimes blue holds something, and red does not have time to execute output side, as we will see. Let me just show it right here. So red executes before blue. The first molecule goes up. Now, let me just put the second output, the second molecule, blue takes and shifts a bit. Red procs the second sensor, and again outputs before blue has the chance to regrab. Now, on the third pass, red only procs the third sense command, and blue has time to regrab, and due to the timing that works out, red activates the output omega on the first pass through, and finally on the first comes through. What happens is red is slightly delayed, and therefore blue has time to shift the molecule one last time. And as you can see, this results in placement shifting. Okay, what is happening in the top manager? Okay, do we have a good place to put? Okay, will this work? Okay, this works. As you can see, thanks to the shifting, we are again doing a combination of displacement differentiation and rotation differentiation. On the first molecule, we do not activate this grab drop, we instead activate this grab. Okay, interesting safe double fuse. Save double fuse of this sulfur first into this template, and then it both of oxygen and sulfur into the second row of templates. So, because this is timing differentiation, red comes here at this time where it drops and immediately blow output. But on the second pass through, red comes in one cycle earlier, and that allows it to grab it from under omega, from under blue. And that was the top manager. What happens in the bottom? The same thing actually happens in the bottom. No, not. Wait, I don't remember. Yes, the same thing happens on the bottom. Wait, why is the timing different? Oh, right, because of those two rotates, the timing gets shifted just a bit in such a way that blue has time to regrab the output on the molecule on the output matrix before red has chance to output it. Now, you might notice that your life would have been quite a bit more difficult if the same manager output two molecules which had the one valency atom in the same location. In other words, if this sodium was instead in the third position located to the this bond to the left, while this sodium has a bond to the bottom, you could not do what you see here. You would have to do something much more complicated and cursed. Okay, so that's the solution. This was the Commonwealth with the metric of 199, meaning a 24-point drop. And in the first place, we have who else but Team Sacred Foundry, again, for the third time. With solution name, I stayed up to 6 AM to save 2 symbols. Okay. First reactor. Nothing particularly interesting happening here. Or rather, on the first, first molecule produces, as you have just seen, we drop the third atom in this position, and we will now drop the first atom in the first atom in the same position. We again have 62, and we have the lithium left over 3. Now we do the same thing with the second input, and you may notice that instead of only dropping stuff on this position, we also drop some stuff on this position. And the same thing happens on the third. And the first one should be clean, meaning just on this position. So this is reflecting the annotation. Thank you for doing correct annotations. I take my thanks back. This annotation is incorrect. Okay, whatever. So we have the 62, which will do a triple split on this position, and the lithium, which will handle as this in this position. We do what you might expect. We do the triple split, and all this stuff gets dropped into this third reactor that you might notice also has the pipe from the first reactor. Okay, now let's appreciate this piece of absurd timing. As you might notice, both red and blue are currently waiting for input alpha. So what happens when something comes into alpha? Okay, this happens around now. Okay, red triggers input alpha and goes to handle whatever, while blue still waits. Red Okay, as you might remember, this is the triple stick that we need to extrude. Now, red activates input alpha for the second time, grabs the second part of the stick, waits again, and, finally, this is the third part of the stick, and at the same time, blue activates and handles the remaining part. This is okay. I've never seen such a construction. This is quite impressive. Okay, so as you might remember, we need to fuse this nitrogen into the two atoms that drop into either those two positions or both drop into this one position. Now let's see how this works. How this works is in a very elegant way. This atom gets if we inputted something into this position, this gets bonded and then fused into this part. But again, the same thing happens. But on the second input, what instead happens is nothing gets bonded here, and instead we are just immediately fuse on the upper position. Now, whatever we are making, we just drop split, and this is 5 of the parts of the atoms that we need. If you remember, the 6 was the lithium. The 6 was the lithium. Okay, which we just handle here. Okay, and now we attach the remaining 5 atoms. Okay, so this is we do not know that this is the correct shape. We will have to wait. Are we done already? Oh, okay. I missed one reactor. This is an interesting reactor because we again do some input magic. How this works is blue is hammering input alpha, but red essentially uses the input alpha as a gate. It knows that something came in and has to be handled when it basically activates. Now, I think that you could get rid of this input alpha, but I guess maybe you couldn't, which is why we are looking at it. Let's just look at what. So let's look at the pattern of bonding. On the top, we always have a triple stick, and on the bottom, we have 2 separate atoms, which we bond together. If everything has decent valences, then nothing interesting happens. Everything gets bonded, But if this atom is a one valency, as it is right now, then it gets bonded to the, well, it doesn't get bonded to the bottom. We get this shape. Okay, again, this shape, as you might remember, in one of those 2 molecules, this one and the previous one, in one of those, sodium instead has to be bonded down and not to the right. So we will have to do something about that. And this fourth one is just simple, nothing, well, full bonding. In other words, we have to let me remember how it works. Okay, as you notice, we have lithium bonded up, and natrium also bonded up. In other words, we are making those two exact shapes. By the way, this annotation is incorrect. It should be like this. It should look as this. We are making just those two shapes, but we need 4 shapes. So, router as usual. Well, as usual, it saves on both outputs by waiting, so actually it doesn't save anything. I don't really know why it's doing this, but I guess was the manager. Okay, whatever. The point is, it inputs all 4 atoms. Remember, some have incorrect bonds. In fact, the 2 upper ones have correct bonds, which allows us, the top manager, to be extremely simple. No work with templates. We just input and output. But on the bottom, we exploit the fact that we know which order. We exploit the fact that we know that when we come to this point, we have both atoms ready, meaning the input was de-randomized. Of course, all this would not work if the input was not 4 balanced, but it is, so it works. This time we do not do any timing magic. We instead rely on a very simple flip-flop. We blue either intercepts and carries to the side, or doesn't intercept and just outputs to omega. So that's it. Okay, I forgot to mention, Team Sacred Foundry is Lazy Comet and Yellow Bunny. Their metric was 125, which is a 74-point drop. This is 3rd time in a row they are pretty much not simply winning, but actually crushing the competition. Why is this so much better? Why is this so much better? Well, first of all, not doing anything in the top manager is very convenient. I don't know why it's so much better. It's just so. It just is. Congratulations to Team Sacred Foundry with the 1st place. And now we have 2 fun solutions, both by also them. First one, single-waldo, actually has the exact same topology, and the almost exact same logic. In fact, I'll be very brief. Exact same to differentiate in 2 positions. The only real difference is in this reactor. Because we cannot do okay, I don't know why, but basically we cannot do this elegant extrusion of a 3 stick, which means that those 2 things are unbonded. And because those 2 things are bonded, we get a bad bonding pattern in this reactor. Let me just remove this pause and instead add it to here. Yeah, Yellow Bunny says this could be better, but basically, as you can see, instead of this atom going to the right, this this atom instead goes to the bottom. Other than that, this is the exact same solution. As you can see, this time those annotations are actually correct. I'm not going to show how it works. I don't think I missed anything. I missed this reactor, but whatever it does, it works in the exact same way, so I'm not going to show it. What we are looking. Okay, we've been here. This is again the exact same thing. And unfortunately, because the bonding pattern is incorrect, we actually have to handle the top template as well. It uses the exact same known order, and for this reason, it's still not very terrible, even though you have to use it. Oh, and actually, you only have to use it for one of the templates, for one of the molecules, and similarly in the bottom. Oh yeah, and similarly in the bottom you only have to use the template for one of the two molecules, which also saves a bunch of symbols. So yeah, this was a single-waldo solution with 212, which you might notice, even if it was scoring, it would still be the first place. And the second solution is no templates, which was actually scoring, at one point. Let me tell you what's happening here. So the first reactor is again the exact same, so I'm not going to show it. Okay. Here's the interesting part. This is the 62. In fact, this is the 62 that will be split once. It will produce two galliums. You may notice that we make those two galliums. Red takes one away to handle, but then something weird happens. Even though this gallium is finished, we split it one more time. And then we make this S shape. So we make this configuration, and I will repeat it once again that this phosphorus should have been a 31 gallium, but instead, for some reason, we have split it apart. Why is this? Now, let's show why is this. Okay, did I forget? I did not forget any pause. Okay. Come on, input something. Okay, 200, come on, 200. Okay, and we input everything and we bond this whole thing. Now, we once again split down yet another gallium. This should have been finished, but instead we are splitting it twice. Remember, this is not part of the algorithm. So we break two good atoms, and now we fuse it back again. What's going on? I'll show you what's going on. We attempt to bond it, and well, we bond it. Okay, let's. Okay, I would like to bring your attention that this lithium is in the correct bonding for this output molecule. In fact, all we have to do is to restore this oxygen to gallium, which is happening right here, and this is done. Now we go back. Okay, let me just put a pause. This is what we have just seen. And now we see the reason why we have done this. In fact, let me just show it on the second on this reactor, on the second molecule. No, you go away. No, you go. No, yes. Oh, no. Okay. This is okay. As you can see, this is aluminum. We will have to split it down to nitrogen and carbon for one of the output atom, for one of the output molecules. We split it once, and then we break the nitrogen by splitting it down to beryllium and lithium. Now, why are we doing this? We are doing this. We are doing this. We are doing this because lithium has one bond which is already taken. In other words, when we execute this bond, what instead happens is this natrium is bonded to the right and not up. Which means that which is this? Okay, this is natrium horizontal, which means this is the first output, which means that without using templates, without using any cursed bond sensing black magic, which we thankfully have not seen this time, we have correctly differentiated the direction of bonding of the first output atom. But this does not explain why we are doing the second thing. And we will see that. We will see that on this third molecule handling. As you can see, after we split this 43, which by the way is present in the output, after we split it twice, we again end up with sodium, which has one valency. Remember that this is rotated. So now we have sodium bonded horizontally. Up here we have sulfur, cerium, whatever. Wait, this is not correct. What am I talking about? Oh, no, sorry. This natrium is what we need, and this natrium will later be refused. Fused. Okay. So this is fluorine and wait, I think I missed something. Okay. Okay. Sodium manganese, which is this, and horizontal bonding is correct. Now we just have to okay, I'll just repeat that. If this fluorine had a larger valency, then when we are doing this, then the sodium would have bonded to it, but it does not. So now all we have to do is fuse this fluorine back to selenium, and that's it. We have the all four output bondings are correct. So both managers are doing nothing beyond just getting. Uh, this is quite impressive, and I'm honestly quite surprised that this was obsoleted because we are doing no interaction with templates at all. Well, as the title says. I'm not quite sure of what's the point of this thing structure. This is a few additional symbols. I'm with this bottom set being used only once. Yellow Bunny says this is precog to add one missing bond. Huh. Precog to add one missing bond. Okay, I don't really understand how this works, but whatever. Okay, whatever. Um, wait. We have a complete handling of each molecule on each pass through. How can we not have a repeating problem? I don't understand. If we have a one missing bond on the first pass through, why do we not have the same problem on the following times? Okay, I'm actually kind of interested. Let's look at this. Okay, what are you? Okay, I see. No, I don't see. And I missed it. Okay, whatever. I guess. Oh wait. You are exploiting the fact that the starting arrangement is not the same as the repeating one. Oh no, you cheater! You cheater! I don't like anymore. Okay. This is the second fun solution by Yellow Bunny the cheater, and this would also have been winning. Okay, this was all the week 7. Congratulations to Team Sacred Foundry once again, and we are finally to the last puzzle for this tournament, the computation puzzle, chess. What this level is you are given one of those configurations where nitrogens display empty spaces, carbon displays a white king, omega displays represents a black queen, and delta represents a black knight. And the task is very simple: determine whether or not the king is in check. Keep in mind that, of course, knight blocks queen from giving check, as you can see on this current atom, on this current molecule. Other than this is well, I don't really know what to say. This is very straightforward. You will have 0 nuclear mass to work with. In fact, one of the reactor types actually does not have any fusers because you will not need them. VP says thank God. Yes. Okay, that's pretty much all I wanted to show for today. If anyone has any questions, now is the time to ask them. You have 10-15 seconds. by the way, I forgot to mention the metric for the computation puzzle is cycles times symbols. So, balanced. The metric is a balance between those. How is the cycle count for our puzzle determined? Is it just the input is given, as there are only 8 of the possible configurations here? It will be determined on standard 10. Actually maybe I should increase it from 10. Anyway, it will be on the finite number of atoms, on the finite number of inputs, but you will, as usual, have to work with. But as usual, it has to be infinite and it has to work on any possible configuration, as the bot will hopefully test on all possible configurations. Okay, anything else? Okay, doesn't look like anything else, so I guess we'll be wrapping up for today. Thank you for coming, for listening to my extremely expert commentary. And congratulations to Team Sacred Foundry. And thank you and goodbye. Until next week.